Let's go out to Minneapolis. I said it right? Not Minneapolis.
Oh, that's true. You have done that before. Minneapolis.
Oh, that's true. You've done that before.
Well,
Few times have you scolded me more.
Yeah, Minneapolis. So it is Mini, little, Apolis.
Minneapolis.
There you go.
Home of the Twins.
Home of the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yes.
And just coldness.
Very
and
cold.
Our friend Nathan.
Nathan.
What's up, Nathan? What's up, dude?
Dude, what's up, man? It's crazy to talk to you.
It's crazier to talk to you, dude.
Wow.
What's up?
Oh man, before I say my piece, I just gotta say I saw you on the iced coffee hour, and I was like that's how I found out about you, and I was just like, who is this like ex-Navy SEAL looking tattooed guy talking about empathy and feelings? I'm confused, but I love it. So
I appreciate it. I'm far from an
you.
ex-Navy SEAL. My buddies here in the SEALs remind me you are not us. So they don't even need to remind me. They just can walk by me and my body's like, ouch. So no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I love those dudes in iced coffee hour. Those guys are great, man. So thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. So it's gonna sound like a quick ramble, but I just have these 4 bullet points I wrote down just because I'm a little nervous. So I'm just gonna try and get these off.
Go for it.
Real quick. So I've always struggled with making new friends because I cling on to connections I already have, but I'm starting to grow apart from a lot of them. I had friends in high school, went to college, immediately met a group, but they started to fade into their own lives and social circles as the years progressed. And then COVID happened towards the end of my college career. And I never really branched out. After living at home for a few years and being close to paying off all my student loans, I've decided to go for a long-time dream of moving out of state to Austin, Texas, and pursuing a career in filmmaking. My brain loves to overthink and analyze every aspect of making the right decision, and it's paralyzing me. I'm scared I'm not interesting, smart, funny, or charismatic enough to build the life I'm proud of once I move across the country. I also feel like I've never quite fully connected to a community. I always see the differences in me and them before I see the similarities. I'm 25 years old, never been in a serious relationship, trying to start this whole new life, moving across the country, trying to break into an industry that feels impossible without having prior connections. And I'm terrified that, as I've heard you say before, me will follow me.
So what's your question, man? That's a lot there, dude. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. I guess my question is, how do I build confidence in myself that I have the ability to, I guess, achieve what I want to achieve and actually make some new friends in a completely new place? Because it's terrifying thinking about moving across the country and not knowing a single person.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I feel like I have to do.
Well, we kind of have this myth about confidence. Confidence isn't something I can give you. Confidence is your body's accumulated evidence. So I would ask you, have you been in situations before that you thought this is scary and then you went and did it, knocked it out?
Yeah, I guess I have. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I've always been afraid that I'm not like interesting or funny enough to get people to like me.
What does that mean? What is interesting or funny? Because dude, in the top several friends on planet Earth I have, one is a banker. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
He's one of my closest friends on planet Earth. He is my closest friend because he is an anchor into granite. He has the same haircut he's had since he was 4. He pays his bills on time always? What? His net worth comically surpasses mine because he just keeps making a great salary every year and doesn't spend it because he doesn't need it. He wears the same jeans, he wears the same shirts. He's just stable. And so
right.
I wouldn't put him on my list of most interesting or funniest. He is hilarious, but in a very different way, not in a way that's going to end up on like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And so, and I could go down the list of my closest friends. What you're talking about is a performance, and that's not how friendship works.
Mm.
And if you turn human connection into a show, you will always go home lonely.
Oh, man.
So
yeah, I feel like I do that a lot.
Here's the root question here. Why do you not like Nathan so much? Like you I don't want to oversell it. You hate Nathan. You're doing everything you can to not be Nathan. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I guess it goes back to how I grew up, and I guess I kind of realized I had like this anxious attachment style, and like this just codependency, and I never really.
Okay, hold on.
I don't
you
know.
just threw two buzzwords at me, and I'm gonna keep digging on you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And this is gonna help the listener too, because there's millions and millions of people that are like, oh, well, I just have this kind of attachment style. That's fine. Or I'm this Enneagram number, or I'm codependent, or I'm OCD, or I'm anxious. Those are all real, very, very real. Okay, but I want to get beneath that. Why don't you like you?
I guess I like observe myself like trying to get people to like me, and then I just become like disgusted with myself.
Okay, but the way you just described that, you are watching a movie of your own life. You're not acting in it. Why aren't you the star of your own movie?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I don't know. It might have to do something with like how I grew up, and like, you know, I grew up kind of. I still live with my parents, and it's kind of hard to get some perspective on this because we get along great now. Mm-hmm. But I grew up with a very explosive dad in terms of his anger.
Okay. And that explains the anxious attachment, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And then
hold on, don't guess. If the one man who was put here on planet Earth to walk you through life, to model for you what love looks like, what masculinity looks like, what provision and showing up and strength looks like, and vulnerability and care, and you're actually tethered to a wild dog.
Yeah.
You spend your whole childhood singing and dancing and performing so that you don't get bit. Mm. Fair?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And you've taken that same skill set and tried to get some girl to love you like that, and tried to get a group of guys in a dorm to like you like that. And what they're looking at is a cool guy who's pretty smart and artistic and has big dreams for himself. And then why are you singing and dancing, dude? Like, just get a drink and chill. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like I've been singing and dancing my whole life.
Yeah, that's it. You have. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, if you hop into what you said, I want you to pay very close attention to your words, and it's important. You want to go, you don't know if you can cut it and go be a part of an industry. I'm going to tell you right now, if that's your mindset, it's going to eat you alive. It's going to kill you.
Mm.
Okay? Because the filmmakers don't join filmmaking to become part of an industry. The woman, Sarah, who edits my show, is one of the most extraordinary cinephiles I've ever met. And she gets up before work and edits. After she gets off of editing my show all day, she goes home and makes her own movies. Why? Not to be part of the industry. She works on my show to pay bills. Right. She is obsessed with storytelling and filmmaking and how it all works and how she can bring somebody from A to B through a story.
Yes.
That's different than I want to go make it in an industry. Because right now in this season, she's having to work on my crappy show to pay bills.
Yeah.
I will be begging her for film work one day when she goes and becomes a famous director. I promise you. Because that's her world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I do love storytelling. I look at it like, I'm on the outside looking in. I kind of feel like that's like how I always feel about certain communities, like I'm on the outside looking in.
Okay, but here's what's really important. You have to get a gang of people where you can just be Nathan.
Yeah. Oof.
And as a guy who loves 80s hair metal and punk rock, and I'm a Christian, and I'm real into fitness, and I'm covered in tattoos, and I like hunting, and I drive a Prius, for God's sakes. Well, now I moved up to a hybrid Highlander, which is really great for putting groceries in. Like, I don't fit anywhere. And I happen to have 2 PhDs because I'm a nerd too. Like, and you're just as much likely to catch me at a academic lecture here in Nashville, Tennessee, over at Belmont or Vanderbilt, as you are to catch me in the mosh pit at the Turnstile show. Listen, my friends love me because that dude's just weird, man. That's just who that dude is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I've always felt like, I don't know if I can be a part of this Christian community because I don't know if my faith is as strong as them. I don't know if I can be a part of these guys. These guys like to party way more than I do. I always see like the differences in every community I step into.
Here's your exercise.
I feel isolated.
Here's your exercise. I want you to do an experiment. And I want you, no, it's not really an experiment. I want you to do some work, and you might have to get a counselor. I hired somebody this year to help me with a project like this.
Okay.
What are your values? Okay. Your beliefs are going to change. I hope your beliefs change your whole life. That's why you make movies. That's why you go to the movies. That's why you read books. That's why you listen to podcasts. So a thing you thought over here is challenged over here. That's awesome. But my values are in concrete. They're in stone.
Right.
Right? And so what does that mean? I don't do drugs, man. I never have. And so I hang out with people all the time that have very different lives than me and have very different choices for what they choose to put in their body. It's not even a thing. Right? Because I have a set of values here. And I'm also going to tell you this. If I had this level of success when I was 28, I wouldn't have made it. I'd have blown the whole thing up. Okay?
Oh, wow.
I wasn't ready for it. So here's what I want you to hear me say. I'm going to give you a couple of really quick things, and I want you to internalize this, and then I want you to go do the next crazy thing. All right?
Okay.
Here's number one. I want you to get unfathomably good at the thing you want to do.
Right.
And people over-dramatize it. Become the guy who always takes pictures at family gatherings. Become the guy who takes pictures at his local church of families. You know why? Because you're getting good at dealing with people and getting them to be where you want them to be. You help tell a story through their photographs, and you deal with difficult people and whining kids and dramatic adults, and you learn how lenses work. That's filmmaking, my friend. Write every single day. Every day of your life.
Wow.
Okay? Here's the scary thing I learned. I went as hard as I could to get a master's degree and a PhD because that's what I thought I had to have credibility. And I'll never forget the first conversation I had with a woman who had been sexually assaulted. And I was fumbling for the things to say. And I remember thinking, oh, that's what's important. Not my degree on the wall, because that's not helping this woman. And so I really spent the next, decade of my life learning what to say when everything had fallen apart in somebody's life. And then, dude, I happened along another degree along the way. Who cares? Right? But my pursuit was not another piece of paper. My pursuit was not a job title or a place at this university, or in your case, in the industry. My place was, there will not come a situation where somebody's fallen apart that I can't show up and be a moment of grace, a moment of peace, and give them some direction on what they could do next. So I became really, really good at my job, not at the external stuff. So learn how lenses work. Learn how storytelling works. Do it everywhere, right?
Right.
Always. Yeah. And what you might find is that, dude, I like movies. I don't want to make them. That's a pain. Or you may find, dude, I am all in on this. Okay? The second thing is your body's going to feel anxious if you don't have money. if you can't eat, if you're not safe. And I know the old saying is like, just go for broke. That's how you get broke. Okay? So you're going to have to work jobs you don't like. You're going to have to work jobs that you think are different. Or like Sarah, you're going to have to find a job that's industry adjacent where you learn how the whole thing works and you do your thing that you love at night.
Right.
You're 25. This is going to happen for a long, long, long time. And when you get to Austin, say yes to every single project you possibly can. I'll carry water. I'll do coffee. I'll be a grip. I'll be a whatever. Fill in the blank. Go through all those things. Keep doing it. 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 The third thing is stop trying to find out where to get confidence and go do things that prove to your body that you can. I can't overcome challenges. I don't feel confident. Cool. I'm going to start a daily exercise practice. And I'm going to become the most trustworthy person I know because I tell myself the truth. Because when I say I'm going to work out today, I go work out. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to get it done. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. You're going to have to make peace, probably with some professional help over time. Maybe not, but probably. With the fact that your nervous system is wired into love as a show, as a performance. And so I want you to practice just being your weird self. Just be your weird self. You're exactly as you were made to be in your experiences, and you're going to get weirder the further you if you go to Austin. I got tons of friends in the 512. You're going to get weird. That's the name of the town. Austin is weird. It's not about being the funniest. It's not about being the best dressed. It's not about being the most clever. It's about being you. And the people in my life who I love, 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 love are radically different than me. And I wouldn't call them the funniest. I wouldn't call them the silliest. I wouldn't call them the most prepared or the best looking or whatever. Whew. My friend Craig is way cleverer than me. My friend Todd is smarter than me. My friend John lets me know, oh, that's going to be funny on stage. Or that's not funny. Those guys all do the thing that I do better than me, but it's in a weird, over dinner, quiet, bankery, finance guy, air conditioning guy kind of way. Go be you. The world doesn't need you to look like somebody else. That job's already taken. The world needs you. And I know that's something you stitch in a pillow, but I mean it with all my heart. Go be weird, Nathan.